Welcome to Fredericton, New Brunswick's capital city, with cool brew pubs and breweries, cafes for all kinds of coffee lovers, a fun weekly market, so much beautiful greenery and great outdoor spaces, and excellent restaurants. It's a perfect blend of urban and green spaces with history and great dining. My trip through the province started a few days earlier in St. Louis de Kent and Bouctouche. If you're curious, I've linked to that video here. On my way to Fredericton, I had to make one special stop to see an icon first. Honestly, it took me a few kilometers off course, but I kind of had to stop for the Harvey Big Potato. There's this great grocer here, so you can stop and get some fruit and vegetables and baking and everything else, but look at him, come on. How can I not drive out of my way to come see the Harvey Big Potato? Fredericton is a 1-hour drive from St. John and just a little under 2 hours from Moncton. There are a number of hotels in the city. For this trip, I got to stay in the Delta Fredericton. It's a hotel in a beautiful spot right on the river, a short drive from the center of town. There's a bar and a restaurant, which I'll get to shortly, a pool and patio looking over the river, lots of lounge space. I had a king river view room with this great setup. I love their commitment to getting rid of plastic with their refillable water option. The hotel is one of Fredericton's best, and I love the views over the river. You can get great suites for families too. It's only a 20-minute drive to get out to nature from almost anywhere in the city, and it's a great hub to explore from, surrounded by charming communities, beautiful lakes and rivers, lots of boating, and boundless hiking. For dinner, I was at Steamer 36, the hotel's barbecue restaurant, with upscale cocktails and really cool options like their biscuits and jalapeno poppers, smash burger, and so much more, including all the fixings. And if you love a good old-fashioned, you really need to try their smoked old-fashioned. It was excellent. I was with a few others, so we split the blooming onion, chili spiced fried cauliflower, and poppers before our main courses. And of course, I also had to try the house beer. The restaurant is really social and the staff were excellent. Don't miss Grammy Jean's Beans, the chef's grandmother's own recipe. For the beer lovers out there, you need to plan a visit to Fredericton's North Side and Picaroon's Roundhouse Taproom and Eatery. They have an incredible outdoor space along the river, and the vibe here on a nice day is like a little party. Inside there's lots of seating. They have a lot of taps, guest taps, coolers filled with beer to go, and their own merch. Picaroons also offers tours, so I had a chance to learn about their ingredients and the process and flavors, walk around the brewery, and sample a few of their brews. They have a really unique setup compared to other breweries, including the fact that they have open vessels for their fermentation process, which is really not very common. Their unique yeast makes it possible, adding very unique flavors. Tours are Tuesdays to Saturdays at 1 p.m. and 4 p.m., and you should plan to book ahead. They have some really amazing beer, and you can find it around the province. I loved all of them, from the Radler and the Blonde to Yippee and Man's Best Friend. After the tour and samples, I stopped by the eatery for a bite, and I had to try their nachos, which ended up being delicious. The space is casual and fun, and then you'll want to go back and shop and make sure you take home some of those bottles or take them with you, including their very impressive lineup of New Brunswick products. It's really something I haven't seen too many places. Very, very cool. New Brunswick has so many cool breweries and distilleries. You really need to check out more while you're here. Fredericton always has a lot going on throughout the year, and summer is chock full of festivals and events, especially around Officers Square. The Garrison Night Market is one of the annual events that always draws a great crowd, with lots of vendors, performers, and artisans. You can find food and snacks, local art by incredible artisans, drinks, and lots more. There are some incredible artists, and especially potters, in this area, and you need to check out some of their work. I was really blown away by the variety and what they pull off. One local writer also comes to write your biography on the spot as a poem, and often you'll find other artisans and creators here, musicians, and everything else. For dinner, I was at one of the city's upscale downtown eateries, 540 Kitchen. This menu is so exciting and fun and wonderfully eclectic. They have A wonderful selection that you'll always be amazed by. It changes seasonally, but also their cocktails are amazing. They have great appetizers. They have great wine. They have lots of local beer. Everything else, it's an amazing restaurant. When I got out for my meal, a band was playing in the square, and it's just such a vibrant scene. This is just one of the examples of how vibrant Fredericton feels, especially on weekend evenings. I'll share a bit more later, but I recommend checking out the Cap nearby for beer and music if you want to hang out in the evening, but there are lots of options. The next morning, I was up early for a canoe on the river. This is one of those rare cities that you can feel urban 1 minute, and then you drive a few minutes and you're in lovely green open spaces. The Wolastoq River, also called the St. John River, stretches for over 673 kilometers to St. John in the ocean. It's a playground for fishing, kayaking, swimming, and boating. I had a chance to go out for paddle first thing with Lily Dipper Cafe. At the time, they had a coffee roasting and paddle experience where I learned about roasting coffee over a camp stove. Okay, as experiences go, this is very cool. I just heard an eagle making noise over the tree line there. Like nature everywhere. This beautiful little island in the middle of Fredericton region, basically. We just are making coffee. It's roasting coffee beans in the wild. It's unbelievable experience. As a coffee lover, this was such a treat, and after the roasting was done, I had a packet to take home with me. It turned out really good. Then we paddled back to town. And on that same note, I then went on a coffee tour with a local celebrity. Barista Brian has traveled all over, serving coffee to celebrities, and he makes art portraits in the froth. I'll show you more of that later, but I met him before in Toronto, and the real treat was having him take me around Fredericton and introduce me to all these amazing local shops and the diverse range of coffees you can get. We stopped at Chess Piece, which also has amazing pastries and food, Urban Almanac with fair trade coffees and teas, and then we went on to Milltown for amazing baking and imported coffee, as well as this women-produced blend from Colombia. Brian does a really great tour, and it's almost shocking how many coffee places there are in Fredericton. One of our last stops was the Abbey, one of my favorite spots actually for their art and the whole mood here, and the espresso was fantastic. And then we finished at the Beaverbrook Art Gallery where we had coffee, and Brian told us his story and made us some foam art.
I started using color. I'm doing that event. I'm on a red carpet, and then I get asked to go to Sundance Film Festival in Park City, Utah. And I go, and I am in a celebrity studio, and I, in the span of 4 days, meet over 100 Hollywood elite, and they all post and love what I'm doing. And then I'm on TMZ, and I'm in Touch Weekly, and I'm like on cloud 9. I go back to Canada, I'm doing espresso, I'm on shows there, and then I just kept going and hustling, and I turned that into more almost 10-year career of events, and I've made latte art for over 100 Oscar winners, 2 vice presidents. This year I had a member of Justin Trudeau's cabinet come here for a latte with me. I've had so many incredible opportunities and experiences because I just opened my heart to something that I loved.
It's amazing.
And you never know what's going to happen, but careful what you wish for.
Brian is a fascinating guy, and he puts on a great tour, so check out the description for a link so you can find out more about him and see if you can join him on one of his coffee tours. You should also make sure you make time to tour the art gallery. It is incredible and modern and refreshing. They also have a really fantastic store where you can buy local products and art pieces. I really love everything they have here. Walking around the city is a must when you're in town. It is a beautiful city. There are parks, and it's so walkable. And I love seeing the historic homes and so many of the things that make it uniquely Fredericton. Also, the Christ Church Cathedral is a must visit, and if you check their schedule or luck out like I did, you may even be able to catch a free music performance. I really highly recommend at least walking by. It is a beautiful, beautiful cathedral. You can easily walk the city center about an hour or 2 if you want to make time and shop and explore deeper. After I walked a little more, I headed back to Chesapeake for some pastry and lunch, and I have to say, wow. They have an incredible menu. Out of so many really impressive coffee shops, Chesapeake is one of the best. Their drinks are great, and their food is amazing. And it's such a great place to just chill and relax and plan the rest of your day. That evening, I walked around the Delta to take in all the views, and they have this great patio for dinner. There's a pool and saunas, plus you can rent kayaks to take out on the river here too. If you're thinking about a romantic getaway, this hotel has everything for a great retreat and escape together. Fredericton is a really distinct city of English-speaking people in the only bilingual province, and a big highlight is the Fredericton Boys Farmers Market. It has a little bit of everything from flowers and fruit to baking and gifts and items and cheese. It's one of my favorite spots to come for a snack, goodies that you can take home or take on your trip, and the chance to wander like a local. They have a little bit of everything, and the food is really amazing. Just spectacular baking and goodies and gifts and things that you can take, but you have to stop at the end at the cheese market. They have incredible cheeses, and I have to admit I bought a few to take with me with some pastries. It was perfect for my road trip. Well, that's it for Fredericton. The rain is just starting here, so I'm gonna hightail it. I've heard there's sun on the Shediac side of New Brunswick, so I've had a really great stay in Fredericton. I really enjoy coming here. Every time I've been here, I've had a chance to do something different and unique, and you know, each of these areas in New Brunswick has so much to offer, and I think Fredericton is actually maybe a bit of a hidden gem. I love St. John, love Moncton for different reasons. Lots of places to go. Looking forward to getting back to Shediac, but Fredericton has a lot, especially in this whole region. There's a lot here, and I hope to come back soon to explore a bit more of it. On my way out of Fredericton, I stopped along the highway in the village where I actually grew up, and I just had to share a peek. This is Cambridge Narrows. It's about 40 minutes from Fredericton, and it's the kind of place you come to get away from the city, to hike or camp or stay at a cottage. It is wonderful. There are inns and B&Bs, there's a few shops and things to do. It's well worth a drive through at the very least. The nearby communities are still small and quiet and charming, and it's a great road trip stop on your way through the province to actually see what the province is like aside from the highways. And then I got back on the road on my way to Shediac, but I had one more stop as a bit of nostalgia. Okay, I'll be honest, in my videos I don't usually recommend like big corporate stores, but Irving is a little special. I mean, in New Brunswick, Irving is a huge company. In the East Coast, actually, the whole East Coast. So when I was a kid, I actually worked at an Irving, but I worked at the Irving restaurant, and the reason I say it's special is that there's not many Irving restaurants left. I remember working at the restaurant, so I really appreciated the fact that it was a lot of home-cooked food, basically. I would say if you need to fill up, it's a great place to stop. If you need to have a break, it's a great place to stop. There's a Big Scoop ice cream. The store has tons of food and snacks and all that stuff. There's even some other stuff in there. And then the restaurant, to me, is the big highlight. If you want to take 30-40 minutes, go in there, have a bite to eat. It's old school to me. That's the other thing. Like, it feels like a slice of old New Brunswick. If you're driving between Fredericton and Moncton or vice versa, or you're on this Trans-Canada highway and you need a break, it is an ideal stopping point without going too far off the highway so that you can kind of have that break or have a bite to eat. So I would recommend it in that situation. If you can stop earlier in Sussex or stop later in Moncton or anything like that, then yeah, that's a good plan too. But I do love their fries and gravy. It's classic. Thank you very much for watching. Please consider a like or subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed the video to help me along. Otherwise, my next video finishes my trip through New Brunswick with the Shediac Lobster Festival and what makes that festival so special, along with a few highlights from the area like Boiteau Beach, Cape Journeyman, and much more. If you have any questions about my trip, or if you're planning your trip through New Brunswick, let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to answer any of your questions. Let you know anything that maybe I left out in the video. Just let me know. Thanks again.